Today's video will be about the Fox and Hound, an out-of-the-way and somewhat obscure locally owned restaurant in Newport, Tennessee. The only question we really have is, where's the Hound? Welcome to Bear Facts, where we explore the Smoky Mountains one bear fact at a time. Well, we still have not figured out the answer to the question of where's the Hound, but we do have great facts about this unassuming bar and restaurant in Newport, Tennessee. So if you're looking for a place that's a little out of the way from the regular tourist destinations, with a decent menu and also a good distance from the traditional tourist trappings, then we have the perfect place for you, the Fox and Hound in Newport, Tennessee. With a population less than 7,000 people, Newport defines small town America. It's also a town steeped in rich culture and history. Situated next to the Pigeon River, a short distance from Douglas Lake and within minutes of the Smoky Mountain campgrounds, there's enough to draw visitors in, but not enough to overcrowd you. With Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge a good 40 minutes away, this town isn't going to attract tourists looking for the resort life. Instead, you're going to get campers, fishermen, boaters, people just passing through, and of course, locals. To get to the Fox and Hound, you need to take Interstate 40, or if you're coming from Gatlinburg, you'll take Route 321 past Cosby. I would definitely put their address in your GPS because there's a lot of ways to get there, and when you do finally end up at their door, you're going to immediately question whether you're in the right place. In fact, the first time we stopped there, I almost turned my car around and left. I thought that maybe Google had led me down a dark backwoods alley with the sounds of banjos playing in the background. Kind of creeped me out. Just kidding, there were no banjos. But I was beginning to question if Google took me to the wrong place. First glance, you might not be certain if this place is, safe. The road leading up to the restaurant has a sign on the corner with a narrow dead-end road. Then you see a bar and a few scattered buildings. What you don't see is an upscale, highly rated restaurant. To find this, you need to drive up the hill a bit before you end up seeing the back of the bar and the restaurant, and there you'll find parking. Fox and Hound shares the parking lot with the church across the way. It's actually a pretty big lot and easy to find parking. The lot has parking designated for handicapped individuals, and I will make a note about the 2 steps to get to the door. I didn't observe a handicap ramp on this side of the building either. It may seem a little bit of an unconventional place for a highly rated restaurant, but trust me, it's worth getting out of your car and going inside. One thing I have noted in the rural South is that they have a sense of humor that's sometimes hard to define. I also sometimes think the locals are trying to hide their good restaurants from the rest of the world. They might hide it behind a church, put a few biker bars in the front, pull down a shed in the backyard, or cover it with weeds and vines. Whatever it takes to run the tourists off, they seem to try it. But it didn't work with us. We saw right through their facade and went inside anyway. Remember how I said they have a hard-to-define sense of humor? Well, you get a taste of this when you enter the restaurant. Once you open the main doors, you see a short hallway and a door on the other end. Next to the door is a doorbell. It tells you to ring the bell to enter. I'd love to watch people from the cameras in this room. Are there any cameras? I'm not sure. And see how many people stand there ringing that bell, waiting for someone to let them in. I'm gonna tell you a secret. It's a joke. Ha ha, not funny. Just walking inside and ignore the button. Now, if the beaten dirt trail, run-down buildings, biker bar, and strange doorbell didn't frighten you away, then you have passed the Southern humor test. Because once you go through those doors, it's like you stepped into another world. The inside of the Fox and Hound is absolutely not what you would expect if you were judging it from the outside. That's what you get for judging, you judgers. But inside is a fully redecorated, lightly airy space with new flooring, ceilings, and fresh wall paint. In the center of the main room is a giant hearth with a television and ornamentation that often reflects the season. Over and around the main room are other home decor items that enhance the warm, homey vibe you get, including inspirational sayings, and of course, you'll see little foxes all over the place. But the hound seems to be hiding since there are no hound decorations or even hound images in their logo. Where's the hound? Either way, the inside is like a modern country kitchen, clean and airy with neutral undertones. Ceiling is made from unfinished pine wood 2x4s, and the walls have tin wainscoting that were probably repurposed roof sheets or barn walling. And even though there's only one actual window in the main dining area, they have it lit up so you don't feel like you're in a dark bar or back room. This is not a bar, yet it is a bar. At first, you would have no clue that there's a full bar on the other side of the restaurant. The bar is actually to your left when you're entering the restaurant. At first, you think it's the kitchen, but no, that's the bar. And it's actually way bigger than you'd realize when you first entered. If you go past the kitchen and the drinking fountains, you'll see a large space that has a full-size bar, and there's a lot of nice seating that's on that side as well. The two spaces are so different and so completely separated that you almost guess that you're in two different restaurants. The bar actually offers live entertainment during the weekends, and they have a really nice decor as well. This side of the bar is completely different though. Instead of the homey kitchen feel in the restaurant, here you get a retro 1980s vibe with a random upside down bike above the bar to turn things around. The dim lighting, high bar tables, and small stage area are better suited to enjoy a beer, talking with friends, or just hanging out and relaxing after a long day at work. The restaurant has gone so far to separate the two different spaces as to provide both with their own bathrooms. So if you have a family and you don't want them around the bar, they don't need to go anywhere near this area. There's a bathroom in the back of the restaurant and another one in the bar area. So let's talk about the Fox and Hound and their food. Even though the Fox and Hound is considered a bar and restaurant, they have a pretty big variety of different kinds of foods, and not just bar foods. They have their traditional appetizers such as chicken wings, cheese sticks, and cheese fries. But they also have cocktail shrimp and a variety of soups. We of course tried the cheese sticks, and we actually kind of liked them. They were crispy on the outside, and when you broke them open, the inside was melted and gooey. For those of you who want to eat on the lighter side, they do offer a few salads, including a chef and chicken salad, and they do have broiled fish. Fox and Hound is actually well known for their soups. They have a pretty decent variety of soups that they offer every day. They have a full takeout menu you can order, and the soups come in different sizes. If you really like it, you can take it out by the gallon. As with many restaurants, they offer a menu that includes beef, chicken, and seafood, but not so much of a vegetarian selection, sorry. One item on their menu that does stand out is their steak. I've actually gotten it more than once. I'll be honest, I very seldom actually like the steaks in a restaurant. Usually you have a good experience and then the next time not as good. Or the steak might not be cooked well and it just doesn't have any flavor. So the next time we went back to Fox and Hound, we tried the steak again, and just to see if it was as good as we remembered it. We were extremely surprised that the second time was actually just as good as the first. We got the ribeye and shared it. I usually order my steaks medium rare, and they cooked it exactly the way I liked it cooked. The steak also had a good flavor and was very tender. Now, here's the reason I don't normally review a restaurant. I just give you basic facts about them. Most of the time, when I find something I enjoy on a menu, I keep getting the same thing. A good reviewer will try different menu items, and I'm just not a good reviewer. Once something resonates with me, I keep going back. The only other thing I have tried at this restaurant was the seafood platter. The fish was fresh and I enjoyed it, but not as much as the steak. Once we had the steak, that was the only item we ever tried again. With each entree, you get a soup or salad and one side, or you can get two sides. I've tried their clam chowder before and it was pretty good, though I'm not sure I'd buy it by the gallon. The one side item that really did stick out for me was the macaroni and cheese. I picked this side, and because I was sharing the steak with my husband, he chose the french fries. I actually really enjoyed the macaroni and cheese and will get it again next time we're there. The french fries were good, but nothing seriously special about them. They were crispy and well cooked on the inside. Now, I wouldn't be called bear facts if I wasn't going to give you some actual bear facts. Here are some facts that might help you make your decision if you want to plan your visit to Fox and Hound. I'm going to start with some of the issues you might run into or feel that might have a negative effect or impact on your visit to Fox and Hound. The first issue is the distance from any major tourist destinations. In order to get to Newport, you'll need to take a little bit of a drive from Pigeon Forge or Gatlinburg. The second issue comes in their location. Newport itself is a nice town with friendly people, but the actual drive up to the restaurant can seem a little off the beaten trail and might feel intimidating for some people. If you can get past the outside appearance, the inside is very nice and comfortable. I do want to stress that the outside is nice and all, but it has a very bar-like vibe, and if you have a family or young people, you might feel reluctant to go inside. Rest assured, the bar and the restaurant are very separate. Whenever we've been there, you can tell that people are enjoying a special event with family and friends, or it's couples night. And this is where the next issue comes in, ironically. Because they are a higher end restaurant for the area, the Fox and Hound can get expensive. Most of the time when you're visiting a place that is out in the country or far from the tourist district, you expect a diner with cheap prices. Don't expect that here. They serve up high quality foods and their prices reflect this. You can easily drop $100 for a couple if you both get an entree and a soda pop or something simple. Okay, and here's the part that's a little harder to throw out real facts on. Most of the time when you're looking at a restaurant, you're also looking for two other things besides food: service and consistency. I've really never felt that there was an issue with service. We've always had friendly staff and people are working hard to make your dining experience as enjoyable as possible. The restaurant tends to take a little longer to get your meal out to you, but overall, I feel that they're on par with most of the other restaurants that sell this kind of food and experiences. But, of course, you're going to see all kinds of comments from other guests and people online. They've gotten many really good reviews and some really bad ones as well. The complaints often range all the way from poor management to food quality and service. I'd be hard-pressed to find any service-based industry that doesn't have these same issues. And I hate to say it or have to keep reminding people about this, but you're in the South. People here have a tendency to do things differently. Folks in the South are exceedingly polite. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, thank you very much. But when you rub them the wrong way, well, let's just say they're gonna let you know. So here's my advice to anyone who uses reviews to try and determine if a place is worth your time or money. Look to see what the majority of people are saying and go by the overall rating. The Fox and Hound has overall good reviews and show consistency in those good reviews. But truthfully, the only way to figure out if you like a place is to try it yourself. We have been there many times and each time have had good experiences. If you've been to the Fox and Hound and have any thoughts on the restaurant, please let us know about them in the comments. And if you've enjoyed this video so far, please help us by hitting the like button. But more importantly, help us grow by subscribing to our channel. Each subscriber makes it possible to help others find us.